Now that we're used to the basic navigation of Savant's TrueControl app for iPad, it's worth pointing out a few hidden features that can really take your control system to the next level. Sometimes it's useful to know whether a service is currently being used before we select that service. In this example, if we have a few satellite services to choose from, this red dot lets us know that this service is currently being used elsewhere. We could still choose that service if we wanted, but if we didn't want to change channels on someone else, we might want to choose another service. Now that we've turned on this service, if we take another look at the popover, we can see a blue dot letting us know that this is the service we are currently enjoying in this room. Controlling our environment is easy to do with Savant, but there may be times when we just want to make a quick change to our environment and then get back to controlling our favorite service without having to reselect the service. Right now we're enjoying a satellite service, and when we select one of our environmental controls, our current service will stay on and be moved into the background so that we can make the change. In reality, these environmental items of control are stacked on top of the service we are currently enjoying. We can see that here by selecting the center of our navigation bar. The active services will show us a stack of pages in this particular room. If we had just changed the temperature and wanted to quickly get back to controlling our satellite box, we could simply tap our Active Services tab and choose the existing satellite service. Let's say we were having a party and wanted several rooms to listen to the same music. One option would be to go from room to room and select the same service, and we would probably do that if we only had a couple of rooms. However, if we activate a service in one room and then, instead of choosing a different room, tap and hold on the Rooms button, we'll be presented with a list that contains every room in our system that is able to receive the same service we are currently enjoying in this room. We can simply tap the power buttons to turn those rooms on with the same service. And we can also quickly adjust all of our different room volumes to the perfect level. By tapping the background anywhere outside of this popover, we can see that the popover will disappear. We can now just tap the Rooms button and see that our service is playing in all of the rooms we selected. Once our party is over, we'll need to turn off all the rooms. Again, one option would be to go from room to room and tap the Power Off button. Alternatively, we could tap and hold the Power Off button, which would present us with a popover where we could choose Power Off Everything. Doing this would prompt the system to ask us if we're sure we want to do this. If we were sure, then we could choose Power Off and every room would instantly be turned off. If we weren't sure, we could select Cancel, which would leave the system as it was. We also have some other powerful options available to us. The button in the Services category shows us the currently active service or services in the room we are in. In cases where we might have multiple services being enjoyed simultaneously in the same room, this option would allow us to turn off a specific service instead of everything. Below that, the Zones category shows us a list of all the currently active rooms, and by tapping them, we can turn them off one by one, like this. Just beneath that, we can see a Component Power Toggle category. There are some sources, like many cable and satellite boxes, where it is almost impossible to ensure that they will turn on when we want them to. Because of this, it is sometimes advantageous to be able to manually send a Component Power Toggle command to a device so that if it was off, it will now turn on. Tapping on this field sends that command. Another cool feature in our Power Off popover is the Sleep command. Let's say we're in our bedroom listening to some music. By selecting Enable, we'll be given the opportunity to select the amount of time we would like to elapse before our bedroom turns off. By tapping on Select Time, we'll be brought back, and we can see the sleep timer counting down. Once our timer has expired, our room will automatically be turned off. There are a few areas in the TrueControl app where we can double tap to get things done more quickly. Normally, when we see a volume slider, we tap and hold the volume knob and then drag it up and down to adjust the volume. However, by double tapping anywhere within the slider, we can make the knob go right to that point. This is also true for lighting sliders as well. Speaking of lighting, oftentimes when we're enjoying a service in a particular room, we might want to adjust a light that is in that room with us. Normally, we would choose Environment and then the lighting icon and then choose which room we'd like to control. But if we are already in that particular room, we have the option to double tap the lighting icon, which will bring us directly to the page for that same room. This is also true for other environmental icons such as shades and climate as well. Whether you are new to Savant or already have a Savant system, we hope you've learned a trick or two to help you get the most out of your system. Thanks for watching.